Hi everyone, welcome to the 2023 College Disc Golf National Championships. This is the D1 Women's Singles Round. My name is Alexis Kerman.
And I'm Ceci Vollbrecht.
We are so excited to be commentating this awesome round. It was so fun. Both myself and Ceci were on this lead card after round one.
So this is the finals for the women. So there was a cut from the earlier round today. So the top 12 women made it onto the second round. So we'll be playing 13 holes from River Run at the North Cove Disc Golf Club. And so let's see how they do. We've got Marr leading right now. She's at neg 1. And so she'll be teeing off first for us today.
And then we've got hole 1 here. It's actually hole 4. We started on hole 4 because we only played 13 holes. It's 267 feet, a par 3, super technical to go through this hole right off the bat here.
Kicking off the 4:42 tee time, your current leader at 1 under par, representing Milligan, Marr.
So we've got Marr stepping up to the tee pad here for her first shot.
It's really this kind of straight sort of Hyzer shot, wouldn't you say, Ceci?
Yeah, I've seen some people doing this slight turnover. I've also seen some people throwing a forehand that gets down there.
Second to the tee, currently at 1 over par, representing Mizzou, Alexis Kerman.
I'm going to throw a Sparkle Z comment. I'm trying to hit this left gap here and go straight. But I kind of yank it and find that right gap, which some people can throw that little Hyzer line, but I get down the fairway a bit.
Third to the tee, currently at 1 over par, representing Wisconsin, Madison, Ceci Vollbrecht.
What are you throwing here, Ceci?
So I'm throwing my Meteor, and I'm also aiming for a slight turnover, sort of aiming at this left side, letting it flip, and then gently ride down the fairway. So I generally think the right side of the fairway is more open if you miss than the left. That's where I'd rather be. So I catch an early tree here and luckily hit out into the fairway, which is nice.
Yeah, that's a nice hit there. We're always
women's
happy with fairways.
Final lead card, representing BYU, Tailey, Rowley.
And last in the box is Tailey, Rowley, and we got to play with her in that doubles round with Mizzou. Make sure to go check that round out. It's out on coverage as well.
So here's that forehand I was talking about that also works.
She gets a little high and gets an early tree kick to the right. But progress off the tee is always good on this one. Yeah, it's just really tricky.
It's not a super long hole, so if you can at least get some good progress down, you can usually look to try to save par.
Definitely. So you look like you're just trying to do another turnover shot.
Yep, aiming for that turnover. Didn't get a turn as much as I wanted, but in the fairway again. Tailey's going forehand again.
Trying to pitch out to the fairway, and she does just fine. Great shot. So our current leader, Lily, here, trying to get some progress.
Great shot. She gets a little caught up in the rocks there, not quite enough height, but she should have a look for a putt. Alexis pulling out the forehand, going with upshot.
And I was a little further up the fairway than the other 3 competitors at this point, so I felt like a little better gap than y'all.
Beautiful upshot, though.
Thank you.
So I've got my berg here, hoping to just put it close to the basket. I get caught up on the same rocks that Lily did, so.
Got some work for a putt left, but it's definitely doable. Tailey pitching up her third.
Another beautiful upshot.
Right there for a bogey save.
Yep. Lily lines up her putt.
Just a little left, but she should be able to clean that up.
A little tricky footing on these rocks here, but
And you did it. Happy to trade that one. Let's go, Ceci. That's awesome. Great putt. That saved your boat.
Happy to save the boat there. Yeah,
limiting the damage. You know, it's kind of crazy going from our doubles rounds to the singles rounds. I know you're with the mixed school, Ceci, so you're not technically in contention for a team doubles title, correct?
right.
But kind of different. It's more intense, especially this is the final 13 to crown a championship.
Oh yeah, the stress is so much higher. You don't have someone else knowing to back you up there. That you missed the putt, either they can lay it up or give it a second chance. All on you.
Here we are at the International Disc Golf Center. The course is just shining for the competitors.
This place means a lot. It's the type of course that where as soon as you think you haven't figured out, it shows its teeth.
At a major tournament, there's a different kind of feeling.
Make your career go to the next step. You need to win a major.
We show where we came from and hopefully show where we're going with events like this weekend.
So here we are on hole 5. There's a double Mando on this one that we just flew by. So it's 207 feet, not very long, but that double Mando is really what makes it harder. So you go right down the middle. We can see the signs there. So Alexis is up first on the tee. What are you throwing here, Alexis?
I'm throwing a rubber blend Luna. Trying to just go straight. And I make the Mando and I go straight and get a really great skid down that hill. That's kind of nice to hit. So I have a circle 2 putt.
Put you in great position for a long putt. Here's Lily with the forehand.
And I like this forehand play, Ceci. I feel like you just get it out the gap and get down there.
Yeah, I think the forehand's good. It helps you keep your eye on the Mando the whole time, so I at least feel more likely to hit it.
Yep, you're going with that forehand as well.
Yep. I put it a little high. I think the nerves got to me and I put a nose up some, but
you made the Mando.
Making the Mando, that's a win. Tailey also going forehand here.
And she's flexing it. Just hits that tree, but she makes really good progress and is safe. Can get up and down.
Again, it's not too long a hole, so as long as you make that Mando, you can generally find a way to get the disc up near the basket.
And that's a great upshot by Tailey. Are you giving this a bid, Ceci?
I was giving it a bid, yeah. There's a little bit of a backstop behind the basket, so
hit the front of the cage there.
I just need a little more air. But are you giving this a run?
Yeah, you know, always trying. Mostly missing.
It was a long bid.
See if Rowley can get it.
But
just short.
So there are actually no birdies on this hole during this round. So par is staying even with the field.
And it averaged above par by 0.38 strokes. So it's just like you were saying, Ceci, a tricky shot having to make that double Mando, knowing you don't have your partner this time to save you if you miss it.
So everyone on this card taps in their pars, walks away with the par frame.
So we've got hole 6 here. It is 336 feet. We're flying over the landing zone, and then what you want to do is pitch over a backhand or a forehand over this pond to the basket. This played as the hardest hole on the course for this final 13, with a whole stroke over par. I'm just pitching out a zone here just to get to that landing zone that we talked about, and I did it.
Are you trying to land on that left side gap, or would you rather be more right?
I like that left side gap and then throwing another forehand over the pond.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so long.
Lily also throws out the forehand. She gets a little too far and dunks it in the pond, but she'll go to the edge of the pond there and still have a nice layup shot. So I'm also going forehand. I'm throwing a Thunderbird. So I need to get a little more right than you were, so that I can go either the backhand route to the right of those trees or cross over the pond.
Got it.
It looks like we all went forehand off this hole. That gap coming out is
It's tiny. Yeah, tiny, and it's short, and I think that makes it a little more intimidating. I'm just pitching another forehand over with a zone. Yeah, so it's a tricky shot if you don't make the gap, or if you get scared of that water, it gets in your head, you end up shorting it and going OB.
Yep, you definitely want to make sure you at least get back over land on this shot and not straight in the water so you get forward progress more. That was also a really nice upshot there by Tailey.
And you are going the forehand route.
Yep, I didn't get quite as right as I might have hoped, but I'm also very comfortable with that forehand, so I stay open to both options.
A great upshot. So Lily's taking her, she just decided to take a meter off the water, and she gave that a really good run there, but went a little far for her comeback for a bogey, so hopefully she can make that.
Ooh. Oh, so close, barely off.
You know, being the leader, I'm sure Lily was so nervous going into this final 13.
The nerves definitely get to you. Cameras are around, you're on a lead card. It can make you shaky. Make anyone shaky.
I'm just taking my time on these putts because, you know, like we just talked about, you're super nervous. You're trying to just not mess up.
Yep. We have three almost tough holes to start. So we're actually not playing the original 1, 2, and 3 of River Run. We started on River Run hole 4, what is normally hole 4, which is a much more technical gap than you normally are with.
So you're right in there for this final 13.
Yep. So here we are on hole 8, which is also a tight gap coming off the tee pad here. It's 453 feet and the only par 4 on River Run. And so the landing zones are before the river running through the hole here. And the OB comes off the rocks. And then you're going to try to throw across, get it close to the basket so that hopefully you have a birdie look. So Alexis going backhand off the tee here, just a little off, super yanked.
But I made some progress and I didn't kick way right or way left because it's really jail over there. You're taking that same line. You also threw an undertaker, didn't you?
Nope, that was a heat.
A heat? Okay. Yep. You took a heat and you mashed this drive. Awesome drive.
That's right where you want to be. I don't want to be too much closer to the path and feel like I'm going to push that OB. So
Tailey also goes huge backhand. Hyzer, she goes a little more left than you do. So Ceci,
still a beautiful shot. We'll put her in great position to get across the river on the next shot. Lily gets a kick into the bushes there. And unfortunately, she decides to re-tee because she's so deep in the bushes. But her second shot is beautiful. She gets it out there. She ends up a little more right. You still have good access to the green from there, though.
And Lily is from Milligan University. It's just east of Johnson City, Tennessee, about 52 miles away for those that aren't familiar with Milligan. It was super cool seeing new schools. I know I've already played with new schools a bunch this year. What about you, Ceci?
Yeah, I played with girls from all over the country, which I think is super cool. You come in and I know we were talking about at one point how cool it is to come in and be playing with this great group of women. Where there's not all these women's fields all around the country, and you're like, wow, there are like 60 of us signed up, and it's fun to meet people. See, there's other women playing all over.
100%. I think it's amazing how the field doubled from last year. We had 58 singles competitors this year, and last year there were only 32. So women's disc golf is growing, and it's growing right before our eyes, and we are a part of it.
Yep. So everyone is finishing up their shots. I guess I'm throwing my shot across the creek now,
and this is for your birdie look.
Yep, so that's my second throw. I land sort of on the hillside going down to the creek there. That is inbounds.
My upshot just turned over and clipped, but luckily I stayed in bounds, so this is to save par. Give it a bid and just hit off the top of the cage.
Good bid, though.
Thank you.
Lily nailed that putt for the bogey, which is great. After having to re-tee, that's a great bogey save.
So this is for birdie for Ceci. And bang, Ceci.
I'm so excited to nail that putt. Let's go. Muddy footing on that hillside, and I just had to commit to it.
Great commitment. Great birdie. So this is for birdie for Tailey. Oh my gosh. And she hits chains, but just doesn't stick. But that's okay. She'll clean up par. And then I'm just settling for my bogey. There's been a lot of leader change just in these first couple of holes, hasn't there, Ceci?
Oh, yeah. People are taking some bogeys, getting pars. The box has been swapping all the time.
So this is hole 9. It is an island sand trap hole, and it's 242 feet, and you have to get through these trees right here and land inside the sand trap. If you don't land inside the sand trap, you're OB and you proceed to a drop zone that is now in the sand trap.
Yep. And there is a safe landing zone before the cart path you saw. I don't think any of us are going for that today, but I know some other competitors were.
So I assume, Ceci, you were trying to kind of flex it and let it fade back into the sand trap.
Yeah, going for that flex, I think nerves got to me and I put a little more pounder on it than I meant to. I was on the right line, just a little too far.
This is a really tricky hole.
Tailey with like a really nice line. She's in.
Let's go.
That's so nice.
Great shot. I'm trying to throw the same line Tailey just threw. I'm throwing my Comet again. I put a little Hyzer on it just because I know there's not a lot of room on that left side of the bunker, and I landed as well.
Okay. I'm just looking for a green flag.
Finally, Lily's up. Just going backhand.
And that looks like an early release to me, maybe.
Maybe a little. It just goes a little too long. It almost got caught on that edge of the sand trap.
I remember her thinking it was definitely in, and then, yeah, it just was juice. But it was a good shot nonetheless.
So Lily and I are both throwing from the drop zone now. You can run that putt, but it's a really dangerous putt to run with the elevated basket and OB about 8 feet behind it. So I just laid mine up. Great putt for the 2. What a birdie.
That's a great birdie to get, especially because I know she wanted that one on hole 8.
Yep.
My birdie bid.
Great birdie.
And I was happy to get that because I knew I'd bogeyed the one previously.
A great comeback there.
So Ceci and Lily tapping in their bogeys. And so here you see the leaderboard change yet again.
So here we are on hole 10. This is 211 feet, and you have to make your way through this tight fairway to start. It bends slightly left, is pretty narrow the whole time, and then once you get out, you're not out of danger. The basket's placed right up along this creek with a gentle slope, so you have to be aware of rollaways that can take you to the OB. So it looks like Tailey's going to take the forehand,
which I think is a really common play on this because, as you see, she kind of had to do a turning forehand shot to get out the gap, and she does it so perfectly.
That's a great place to be for your second shot.
Looking just right down at the basket. I'm also attempting to go forehand with a buzz. It worked in my team doubles round. I early release it and get a kick left, so we'll see what I have once we get up there.
So I'm going to take the backhand route. So I'm looking to just stay straight, fade out that gap, and be in the open.
Yeah, I saw you throw this, Ceci, and I really liked it because it is just kind of this little slow Hyzer shot instead.
And I can throw a putter, so hopefully I don't kick as far if I do hit a tree. It's worked pretty well so far. Lily's going to also take the forehand. She hits an unfortunate early tree and kicks left.
But luckily she's able to straddle out here and isn't too much in that left side, which is really jail because of all those really tiny trees. And that was a great approach shot there from where she was.
Yep, she'll have a putt to make if she wants it.
So I'm here. I'm going to opt for a forehand. I do have a gap I can hit. And I do hit it. I've left myself with a big death putt, though. So I don't know if I'll run that or not yet.
So I'm just eyeing up I am not going to try to run this with the death putt behind it, the water. Although then it gets away from me a little. But
you sit right there.
Yep.
So that's good. So Tailey usually putts with JK AVRs, but she's using this really gummy, like, blowfly type disc, and it's a black one.
Yep.
Just to sit. But unfortunately, she rolls OB.
And that's one of the tricky things about this green is, unfortunately, the rocks can just pop you out. And that was a great par putt there from me.
Yeah, that's the thing with River Run. You know, it's River Run for a reason. A lot of these baskets are located right in front of the river or a stream with water. And it's easy to catch a rock and just roll away OB. And she cleans up her bogey. And then you're cleaning up a par.
Yep.
And as I kind of mentioned, I'm in the lead, but every person on this card has taken the lead at some point here.
Yeah, it's quite a battle going on.
So that wraps up the first 6 holes. And this is your leaderboard right now. I'm in first place, and then Ceci and Tailey
And then Lily, and everyone's separated by just a stroke. So it's going to be a tight battle coming down the stretch.
Thank you for joining us for the front 6. Hope you join us for our back 7.